Hey, what's up guys? Here in the backyard today, and I have in front of me the Pard NV007 night vision unit and a couple of mounts from Eagle Vision. I contacted Masood a few days back and asked him to send me over this little connector that actually connects the Pard to one of his mount fittings, scope mount fittings. And I mean, when I saw it, I thought, you know, this looks like just what I'm looking for, because this particular mount here, it's like an adjustable ball joint. Really helps to be able to maneuver the night vision unit to get best alignment and to get as full a picture as possible. With the actual crosshairs and stuff, and the crosshair in this rifle, which I will show you in some footage, pretty much stretches the full length of the actual screen, of the actual scope itself. As when you get some scopes that have like the smaller centralised reticle, but this reticle, like I said, just literally goes all the way across, so you kind of centre it to the best you can, and then you try and have it as even as possible. But let me just go through this mount. This is the USH46 mount, which pretty much fits all scopes. I've tried this on my other rifles that have like night force scopes on them, because they can be fairly awkward because of the way there's like a flare, a taper on the actual scope bell. But on this particular, this is a CZ 17 HMR 452. It just has a Hawk sidewinder, and I'll show you the rifle in a second. But so you take this particular mount, and this is what Masood has come up with now. He's actually made a connector that is perfect for the Pard, which just tends to sort of screw into this. Find your thread, and look that up tight, and then you simply take the Pard unit, find the slot, just push it ever so slightly, and it just locks into place. I mean, this actually works better than the original Pard mount. I was absolutely taken back just how good this actually was. I mean, the connection is perfect. I'll show you the connection on one of the original mounts. I'll take this short mount for instance. You literally go to find your space, and even that's difficult enough. Okay, so it clicks on OK there, and then it's like so tight. I mean, it's unbelievably tight. And that's not even mounted to the scope yet. I mean, it really is tight. Same with this one. I mean, you know, it might not bother you, but I just find that I am really like applying quite a bit of pressure with that. Now, whether you want to sort of sand them down to make it more easy fit, I never thought that it would be. I mean, I've seen other people's videos, and they seem to get it on sort of no problem, but for some reason, these particular ones, I am literally turning. I mean, it's like going through treacle, it's so slow. But with the Eagle Vision mount from Masood, it's just fantastic. I mean, it's a nice, almost feels like it's a loose fit. You push it to engage, and then twist, and it's locked, you know. It's really, really nice actually. Well done, Masood, you knocked that one out of the park. Love that fitting on there. That's just so good, so easy to get on and off, he says. But it's just very good, very impressed. Let me mount it onto the rifle. Okay, so you take your Pard, offer it up to the scope. Like I said, this scope is kind of quite even, but that you do have these milled ocular rings here, but it's just no problem for the Eagle Vision mount. And so this is fairly loose now at the minute, but as you can see, it literally is like a ball joint, which with some of these mounts you just don't get that. There's not enough room for movability. I'm not saying they don't work, they do actually work once you kind of try and set them in place, but I found for me, I just couldn't even get the right eye relief as well with these. But like I said, one of the things that I've noticed, a lot of people sometimes, they want more stock at the back, butt stock, because obviously they don't want the Pard too far back. What I found, by having it too far forward, it doesn't quite give me the good enough eye relief and to also see a decent picture, because I feel that you're tunnel visioning the actual picture too close inward. So I found that, what's that? Almost like half an inch, 3/4 inch into it is about the best eye relief for me. And then once you sort of set it and got it right, I'll just zoom out just a little touch. So you've got it set up. Now, if you look at the back of the stock, there isn't a lot of stock left, but I found that's enough for me to get better eye alignment, better eye relief, better picture as well. So again, this mount from Eagle Vision is great for that, because it's more forgiving. I know you do have this long version, but I found on some scopes you've got this that actually locks in the Pard, and then this is not quite enough. Now, I did mess around with a particular connector from Eagle Vision. It's a scope connector that actually screws in to the back of a Hawk scope, literally, because there's threads at the back of the eye bell and you can actually screw it in there, and that actually did work, and I could probably have done a video on that, but since this came out, for me it's a lot nicer, a lot neater, complements the Pard really well, I think. In terms of this eye relief here as well for the Pard, this rubber eye cup, I've actually peeled it back on itself, and that again gives me more vision instead of me trying to poke my eye into a little tiny hole. For me, just wasn't working as well, but this for me now works better. I can see into the actual unit a lot more. Let me just give you a quick picture. Okay, so here's the back of the unit, and as you can see, I've just peeled this back and it sits there quite comfortably, but it still gives me enough to actually put my eye up against without actually fitting it right inside or pushing up against it, because I don't actually need to. And the other thing is, I think for me personally, I have turned down the brightness inside the unit ever so slightly, probably like into the middle setting, but what that also does now, it doesn't give me as much eye blindness, light blindness, whatever you want to call it, back into my eye, because my eye is not literally fixed right inside there. I can have like a little bit of an opening there. But like I said, my eye is close, but just not fixed right up inside. And for me, I find that I've got more visibility inside the actual unit, as well as looking out. in field of view. Okay. Okay, I do actually have a little bit of just some backyard footage, actually daytime footage, that I'll show you through the actual scope itself. And at the moment, I haven't really sort of used any nighttime footage as yet. But anyway, I just want to sort of show just a little bit of daytime footage. And what I want you to also see as well, which I've found with the Pard, is the way it can highlight dark areas. The exposure setting inside the actual Pard is really good for daytime shooting. If you have some close-up work that you're doing, the way when you go over sort of dark corners, dark, dim, when you go over darkly lit areas, the Pard itself uses exposure setting to actually shed light onto that, and you end up with a really great image. Really clever how the Pard can do that, and at this price point, I mean, it's great that that kind of functionality is there. And I suppose you can play around as well with the nighttime settings as well, which I'm going to be doing hopefully at some point. But here's a little bit of footage just to sort of show you some backyard critters that are in the garden. And I thought it'd be a great opportunity just to sort of film them and just sort of see what kind of clarity I'd get through the daytime footage. And okay. Now you can order this kit on its own. I mean, obviously, if you wanted just the connector itself, then you could just ring up and ask Masood to send you over just the connector for the Pard 007, or you can literally sort of purchase the kit. If you don't have this particular joint, then you could order the complete kit, and you will get the case, the Eagle Vision case. You will get little silicone grease. You get the ball joint connector, which is the US H46, and obviously the Pard connector as well. Now, one thing to note, you can't order just this and then expect it to work with any of the normal fittings, because it will just simply not fit in there at all. This has actually been made specifically for this joint, and to be honest with you, I mean, if you don't have this but you want to order this, it is certainly worth ordering this, because it literally does what they do, but just 10 times better, and the fact that it fits pretty much any scope inside there. You know, as you sort of tighten it, this gets smaller, loosen it, and it gets bigger. It'll fit majority of something like 99% of pretty much all scopes out there on the iBell. But like I said, if you wanted this, you can't use this without this, but I think it's worth the money, to be fair. Masood's done a great job in adding this to his line of connectors, and for the Pard, and I'm certainly going to enjoy using this. Like, it's so good that I can actually just put it on any rifle. It'll fit any rifle, and say the connection on this is just perfect, and it just locks into place like that. Brilliant. Thanks, Masood, for sending this over to me, and I can't wait to get it on some of my rifles and be doing what I need to do. But absolutely great stuff. Thanks, Masood. See you soon.